Hello and welcome to Wikipedia Weekly Network, where Albin Larsson and me, Jan Ainali, is editing Wikidata, and I just realized we had the wrong background. Here's the Wikidata background. Hi, Albin. How are you?
Right. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. We have had some lovely weather here, and very nice to be out and take photos for Wikishoot Me, which is a great app.
Right.
Yeah.
Indeed.
What have you been doing the last week?
I have actually been doing quite a bit with shaped expressions, trying to create more and more for various things. Trying to see if one can like push it to the state where it's really nice and usable at a scale. Yeah.
No, that's really nice. And hello, Nicholas.
Hello.
And today I'm gonna be editing a little bit in the items connected to the International Polar Bear Day, but we're gonna switch it around a little bit. So you're starting this.
I am.
Yeah.
Right.
Where are you gonna go?
We're gonna have a look at a bit more generic Wikidata statistics. We're gonna have a look at the Wikidata Grafana dashboards. I was intending to show one other tool as well, but it appears to have a bit of trouble today, so I won't. So I might do a bit of casual editing instead. I'm thinking, as it's the Polar Bear Day and I have a seal on my mug, I think I'm gonna do a bit of edits around seals.
All right, nice.
Because they happens to be very important for polar bears. We eat them.
Yeah, that's the
right.
main ingredient of their ecosystem, literally speaking.
Exactly. Yeah. But to start off, I'm gonna go to grafana.wikimedia.org. You might see the query service here, but I am gonna jump over to Grafana instead. And so this grafana.wikimedia.org contains a bunch of various dashboards very much related to software development and just general usage of Wikimedia in general. I think we can click here on dashboards to see, where is it, search? Yes, one can go to search and see a little bit about what's in here. At the top, we actually see one from, because it's recent, I see. Let's close this. We can see that there is a lot of things related to application service, databases, Gerrit, Kubernetes, things that people in general might not know what it is. But we can see a couple of more generic ones like traffic, Wikidata dashboards, and things like that. I'm gonna go back to the start here, and I'm gonna scroll here until I see Wikidata. And then they have this lovely page containing a bunch of dashboards around usage of Wikidata, and also external links to Author tool, which might have Wikidata statistics. So I'm thinking we will have a bit of a look at what we can find here. Among Author things, they're split into a couple of different ones, like ones that are live, ones that are updated daily, and actually only one that's updated monthly. So I'm thinking we're just gonna have a look here to see what Wikidata edits sounds like an interesting dashboard. And we get a bunch of really nice looking graphs. And this first one happens to show us a bunch of various things. It shows us the green here represent the total numbers of edits at a particular point in time. The yellow ones are bots. There is a very, very, very small blue one at the bottom, and it's the anonymous ones. And there is an even smaller orange one at the bottom, which is mobile edits. But we can clearly see here that bot edits are more than half of the edits as I see it. We see a spike here, however, with a lot of edits that appears not to be bots. We can actually zoom in just like I did here.
I'm a little bit surprised. I thought it would be even more bots.
I too, and I think there is a little bit of a weekend effect and things like that. So it appears to be changing quite a bit. We can see creations, paid creations. Is there a way for me to unpack it? I think, is that it? Yes. I'm gonna jump back so I can see more data. Can I just reset this? I want to look at the last 7 days. Let's see. Here we go. So this would be the last 7 days. We have the dates below. And we also have this very nice graph next to it that are page creations. So these ones are limited to edits that made new items or pages. We see a bit on statistics of edit rates. You might know that you can't edit Wikidata or any Wikimedia project as fast as you want to always. It's because your editing speed is actually limited. We see a bit about authentication, edit types. This is an interesting one. I think this might be very small. Let's see if we can zoom in and make it larger. Yes,
We have also an explanation here from Nicholas. The bots is only one with the bot flags, so there's some edits that are bot-like, but not counted as bots. Yeah,
exactly.
That's a good one.
So these are the ones that are bot accounts, which has this flag. For example, many people edit Wikidata using, for example, quick statements. And then they might not necessarily have this flag. Also, a lot of people using OpenRefine does not necessarily have it. Essentially, many people who do semi-automated edits don't use it. Right. I am really interested in this edit type one. Let's see. So the first one, Wikibase edit entity, is just a very generic function for editing anything about an entity, I believe. But then there are a couple of specific ones, like create claim, which is essentially creating a statement. That is also a very popular one, and followed by setting descriptions and setting labels. So this is very interesting. Click the caption. View. Oh, that's a nice tip. Thank you, Nicholas. We can see it in full screen. Great. So the light blue here is just generic edits. The orchard ones. The yellow ones here are specific for creating claims. Oh, very interesting. We got the size of the changes. We can see that this actually updates as I'm browsing it, because this is one of the live ones. Very interesting. So that might be a source for various things. I really think we should do that around like a large holiday. Have a look at that one. See if people edit more or less over Christmas, for example. Let's see. Do we have anything else that sounds very interesting here? Wikidata quality and Wikidata query service. Right. This must be a little bit about the entity constraints. Here we got, it's actually using SparkQL behind the scenes. So it shows a bit about its usage there. This appears to be a rather technical one. Right. Maybe this one is. Done rate, error rate. Right, here we can actually see how the BDQS service is performing. We can see the error rate and the various colors here of various instances of it. The query service is actually split into a bunch of small services to handle more load. So when you make a query, it selects one of those smaller ones to actually handle your query, because a single one wouldn't be able to. So we can see if there is a particular one that's failing. We can see again here as it updates live. We can see the lag, which is usually, and I believe this is the case here, how well updates propagate into the service. So currently it looks rather bad. We can see that it has a hard time keeping up with all the edits, the SparkQL instance. And we got a question from Nicholas here. Are the server in Texas failing? So that would be... Oh, it would be the main one, right?
I don't know.
And that would so mean that it has hard to propagate on all of them. I can't answer that question, actually. Not like here. Here we got a very interesting statistics about triples in Wikidata. It might just look like a boring line here, but this says a lot. So a triple is a RDF statement. It's not the same as a statement in Wikidata. Wikidata has a lot more RDF statements. And we can see here that we are approaching 12. We are past 12 billion. That's a lot of RDF statements. If people are into things like the semantic web, that's an impressive number. This one is very interesting. Queries per second. Again, we don't see the total here. We see it split over these instances. But we can see the number of operations per second. I wonder if that's the same as queries in this case. I imagine so. So we can see that it sometimes, if that's the case, handles up to 600. And this is just in the last 24 hours. 600 queries per second.
That's quite a lot.
That's quite a lot. Here's the read write to the server. We can see the network traffic. Rather technical data. Right, I think that's it. Let's see if we got something more. No, that one, no. Wikidata data model reference statements, Wikidata entity usage.
Ooh.
And Wikidata top page views. Those are a little more generic. Let's see if this loads. I think they are supposed to load a couple of more in here. So we got the number of site links here.
Right.
Oh, that's a nice number.
222, yeah. That's also quite a lot. So that's the number of articles and pages in the Wikimedia universe that is connected to Wikidata item. So a lot more than the 55, 60 million Wikipedia articles. It's like more than 3 times that number. Yeah.
Yeah. And this could be Wikispecies, it could be Wikivoyage, it could be Wikipedia, it could be all of them. But it's an impressive number, and I imagine it sooner or later here would be 222.
That's not going to be far away. Yeah.
Yeah, try to capture that, everyone. We see a lot of labels. 346 million.
That's also, it sounds like a lot, but it's also quite a few, or a small number, because that's just like 3.5 per item then.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, actually, knowing most Wikidata items. There are plenty of ones which just have one.
Yeah, too many.
And this one seemed to have had a bit of a problem. Total entity usage pages, excluding site links. I am not sure what that is. Total usage page per site. This, I think, are statistics about the various how many of the site links are to various projects. That should be it. It also makes a lot of sense here with what's linked. So Commons Wiki is the absolute most common site link, followed by the English Wikipedia, quickly followed by the Seb
That seems
Wiki
to be a writer. Yeah.
and the Swedish Wiki. So it makes a lot of sense to have those two there, as they have a lot of bot-created content. So again, a very, very interesting graph. I am surprised not to see the Wikispecies a little higher up.
Mm-hmm.
And in general, those generic perks we got, like WikiVoyage, it would be very interesting to see those increase. Wikidata test. Seems.
So I would be interested to see how, like a client, how much they are using from Wikidata.
Yeah.
Not just being a site link, but also actually using the data from Wikidata.
I think I saw something like that, actually, a little earlier. Let's see. So, Wikidata API. Is this the one we were in? Yes. So first we got this one, which should supposed to be the page view statistics.
That
Yeah.
Daniel says, yeah, that dashboard is daily, so you might miss two. It's not live.
Indeed.
That one.
I am quite sure I have seen something that indicated this. Is it? Yes. Might it be this one? Let's see. Entities per request. That's people requesting entities, at least. Not exactly what I was looking for. Wikidata. I'm gonna do like this. Search for Wikidata here, and I want to look for the API. That not the one. No. Can I do it like this, maybe? Wikidata. Wikibase API. Might that be it? Yeah, this is a little bit about what people are using the API for, at least. We can see to what extent it's being done. I'm gonna change this to the last week. And we can actually see that what people use externally Wikidata most for, we can see that pretty much a large majority of the request to the APIs is about getting information about specific entities, while The second largest one is searches. People are searching Wikidata. And the third largest is getting claims or statements. That's as close I think we are getting here. I think that was the ones I primarily wanted to show. I still wanted one more small things. Let's see how I did this. Wikidata, yes. So in this generic Wikidata list of dashboards, you have a long list of external statistics tools about various things, about gender gap, about humans, and so on, which is a great resource used to find new tools doing this. I wanted to show an additional tool here, Wikidata Analytics. Let's see if it's up. No, it's currently not up. So we will do a bit of generic Wikidata edits, focusing on seals instead. Right. So let's see what that item might have. And here we go. So seals, instance of taxon, subclass of mammal, nice image.
They had a very nice taxon name. Pinipedia.
Yeah, indeed. Pinipedia, right. Taxon rank, parent taxon. Oh, it has a start time, right. That might be very common on taxons, I don't know, but I find it very joyful. Topic has template, right. I want to use this. I do have Recoin enabled to see what we might do. There are a couple of identifiers, common name, and a couple of ones which do not have labels in English. I imagine they are identifiers. Almost. All right, let's have a look at English Wikipedia page to see what we might be able to add.
It was already a quite good item.
Yeah, indeed. I think the taxon ones are in general very good ones. They have plenty of identifiers. They have the basics. But I think they're quite often missing like a bit more generic statements. Like, I don't know, we might want to know what type of size seals usually have. We might want to know how old do they usually get and such. And I imagine the Wikipedia article will tell us things like this. Zoom here a little. Yes, range in size from 1 meter, 45 kilos, to 5 meters and 3,200 kilos. That's impressive. Let's add this. No, I did not. So we can here put two values. We would put the maximum and the minimum, I imagine. And 45 seems to be the minimum stated here. Kilogram, right? No, the length is not kilogram. Right. Mass. Right. And we want to have a qualifier here. I think we want to have... How is this usually modeled? We want to be able to specify that this is the minimum one. It's...
Is it?
Oh, brain freeze.
You know it in Swedish?
No, especially not in Swedish.
All right. Is it applies to? No.
No, that it's something like has, or could be limit something, applies to part. Let's see what happens if I used
Minimum value?
okay. Yeah, we want to have something here and then like minimum, I believe. But what goes here?
There was a property for minimum value.
Qualify to define a property
That's
contains...
something.
Yeah. I wonder what item would have this that we would be sure of.
Perhaps a cat?
I'm thinking like the space station.
Yeah, all right. I'll check the house cat meanwhile.
Like for how long is it in orbit? Because that length will change, I imagine. Oh, it actually counts the number. Okay, interesting. Orbital period. That's an incredibly specific one. Oh, of course, there's an easy way to do this. We search for minimum. There must be a usage example. Can we see a property? Wikidata property minimum value. Examples. Wikidata property example.
No examples. That's unusual.
Wikidata property for quantities. Oh, I would need to query for that one.
Or you could just go what links here from there.
Yes, indeed. That's a good one. Let's see. Property talk. Is this... Do I need to say item main?
Do you want property?
We might do property as well. Cost. Let's see. Net. I think this one would indicate it. Let's see. Network, what does it look like? Property constraints. Maximum value, minimum value.
Oh, so this is made to enter warnings for property constraints, because that's what it says there. Like if you enter something that is out of these values for net
Yeah.
worth.
Yeah, exactly. That first one would be this one. But I imagine it would have a maximum. No, one wouldn't have a maximum or minimum here. It would just be point in time. I imagine. Oh, might be a bit of a dead end here. Let's see, maximum current. And it's only 13. Okay. That's a dead end. Let's see if the Wikipedia article might, because I found this property very interesting. Highest observed lifespan. I wonder if we got something like that here. We got the average.
And you also got the longest.
Right. The longest recorded lifespans includes a 43-year-old wild female and a 46-year-old. So 46.
Mm-hmm.
That one. Okay. Something like that. I want to.
I think you actually took the wrong unit. The wrong unit. You took years old, not years. It's a big discussion to actually. We don't have
Oh,
the.
it doesn't give me years.
That's very strange. If you just go year.
That might be it.
It's a big discussion on actually merging these two.
Yeah, it would make a lot of sense. I'm gonna go with year. It sounds a lot better. Is it a book source or something like that? Yes, right. Then I'm gonna be a little short sheety and say imported from Wikimedia project. Oops. English Wikipedia. Wikimedia import URL. And what I usually do here is that I click view history, and I go to the specific one for this date. So we got this static page which never changes.
Yeah.
In case this information would be gone, people still knows that, okay, it's from this version of the article.
You can also do that from the, instead of going into the history, you have the permanent link in the left column.
Right.
Which
Yes.
should give
there.
you more or less the same.
Yeah. Like that.
Yeah. See if it complains or something.
It should be between
No, it is
0. Yeah, I imagine that it's complaining over something related to this year one.
all right. Strange.
Right. It was one seal edit today, right? Okay, I'm gonna leave over to you, Jan.
All right.
And
all right.
polar bears.
Polar
We
bears.
got a bit of seals now. Now we can move on.
Yeah, let's move up
Oops.
a step in the food chain. And today it's the International Polar Bear Day. It says it's an annual event celebrated on February 27, which is the date of today. So I was thinking about trying to improve this item a little bit and things that are linking here. And I see immediately that we're missing a Swedish label. So
Right.
I'm going to start by adding that. I'm not really sure if I heard this in Swedish, but
I think I have seen it.
yeah. Oh, better if I spell it correctly. So I'll just start by adding that. That's an easy edit and makes it a little bit. This one is pretty hard to actually mix up with something else. It's such a unique name, but it could also be, there could be scientific articles about the International Polar Day or Polar Bear Day and stuff like that. So, or a movie about it with the same name. So that's why it's good to have a description in there. And then I'm immediately thinking that holiday, that's nice, but that's not really what it is. And so I'm going to change this one. And I think this is what we use World Day. Themed day named by an international organization, which is exactly what this is. And I'm going to actually publish this one, and then I'm going to show you the World Day, which, because I was thinking about adding a few things more, but then we have this. It's an awareness days and observance subclass of. So I don't need to add that this is an awareness day now, because I was thinking about adding that, but it's sort of implied. And if you do a search and go down the property path or a query, we will find this in here. So that's an immediate improvement here, so that we will find it. I'm not very sure about this image. I'm going to leave it for now, because this is the image of polar bears, not about the Polar Bear Day. I would rather see people doing an event or perhaps protesting or having cake. I don't know what you're actually doing, but that should be in there. The reference is just as important. Oh, it's harmless, at least. Main subject, polar bear. That's very good. And we have day in year for periodic occurrence, February 27, and it's on a focus list. So it's a good start. We also have an identifier here. So I want to add a few things to this. And the day in year, this sort of implies that it is yearly. But if someone were to query for, give me all the yearly events, we wouldn't get it. So we're going to start by adding that. And that we actually have a property called event interval. And include unit of time, year Q577. So let's go with that and say year. Oh, no. So 1. And then year. Boop. And publish that. So now we have it more discoverable. And then I was looking up here. There's an article on English Wikipedia about it. It says it's organized by Polar Bears International. So I want to add that as an organizer, since they already had an item for that. So I'm going to go with organizer. Polar Bears International. There was a source, and I preloaded it here, so I could see that it was actually saying it and say the event is organized. So I can rely on that one as a source. We'll add a reference URL and retrieve date today. Retrieved. And this added because I have the very nifty little gadget turned on. If you don't have that one on, turn it on. It helps you so much. We say it all the time, but it's actually true. I'm not sure. Is that turned on by default yet?
I think so.
All right. Because that's very handy. All right, so that's good. We have an organizer for that. And it also said here, to raise the awareness about the effects of warmer temperature and reduced ice on global bear population. Climate change is having a severe effect on polar bears. So I'm going to be bold and say that this entire day has a cause. So I'm going to has cause. Yes. And I'm going to add global warming. Nope. That's the one. So we also can see things that are leading to other things. Would you think named after polar bear? Is that a good? It's a little bit on the nose. Oh, you're muted.
I would probably not add it.
Yeah,
it's a little bit implied.
Yeah, it is. So instead, I'm gonna. I've done a quick little search here about it, and I also found that there's. Let's see. So this is the Polar Bears International page. Did I already preload it over here? No, that was something else.
Right.
So I wanted to see. Oh, that was really slow. There we go.
And cookies.
I've set that. The cookies. And this, I would say, is the official website for this day. I'll just see. These are not for the day, the social media, but for the organization in general. Yeah. But I'm gonna go with this one and add here.
Do we know when it was first held?
Well, we're gonna look that up for sure because that's a good one, a start date. And this one, it's gonna ask for the language. And it was in English. Let's see if it says in here. It doesn't though. No.
No, I noted the same.
Yeah. Does it say anything up here? 27th? No. That would have been a good thing to add. Let's see if it says. Let's check this one out. Oh, this is just a calendar. That's a bad one. Let's go to the first page. Maybe there's about us thing here that might say something about the history.
Yeah. Trying to find it myself.
Our story.
Oh, history of International Polar Bear Day.
Oh, you found it?
Let's see. There is quite a bit of text here.
Uh-huh.
They introduced first International Polar Bear Day in 2011.
All right.
I'm gonna
Can you give me
share
the
the link with you.
link? Thank you. Oh, so that was one of the other sources. Very good. National Today. Holiday history. Oh, here it's actually said holiday, but I think that's generic for the site.
So the last sentence.
Yes. Every year since. That's very good. So we'll go here. We don't really know if it was the 27th of February from the first day. So for now, I'm gonna just say 2011, and we might refine it later. And we had a reference URL for that, and we'll add the retrieve date as well. Very nice. So that's very good. And then I want to take a step here to just take a quick look at the Polar Bears International, the item for them. Nice. They had this one. They don't have the qualifier here yet, so that's why we get a warning. We'll add the qualifier, language of work, English, because we just reviewed that one. Imported from Wikimedia project. I think this is like for official website, it's sort of self-referencing. So I don't really think we need to have this one as a reference at all.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes. I think we have a very nice improvement here. So it should be not start time, but inception. Of course, I was a little bit confused here. So now I could redo this because there's no easy way to actually change this one. But thanks that I have this move claim, I can actually move it. Now I don't remember the inception day by heart, so I'll have to look it up. I'll open a new tab here and search for p:/inception. Let's see if my P571. So I'll add P571 here. And then I want to move this. I don't want to copy it because I want to remove the start time. I'll see if it works. It says it worked. I'll reload here to see that it actually did. Yay, it did. Inception 2011. Thank you. That's very good. Check back to this about the organization here. So lacks a lot because I saw in the footer here that it did have a few social media accounts. So I'm actually just gonna copy a few of these to add them. Let's do like this. And I also want to check this one when they started because that's one of the qualifiers. So add a Twitter here. And you might notice here that I pasted the entire link and then it removed the twitter.com. And that's because I have a user script doing it. And I'm not sure if I have a quick... Yes, so it's this one. You can search in my common JS file, or go to user one Verche, and it's a very nice one. So you can paste the entire link, and if it's in there from the property, so it knows how to build them, it can also remove it. That's very handy.
Nice one.
Now here it's actually start time. So this is one of the qualifiers that you will get a warning for, and it's not inception in this case. So
right,
I'm going to copy joined May 2009. And then there's also a qualifier for the user ID, and there's some sort of trick to find it, which I always forget.
I think you can just leave this and the bot will do it for you.
Oh,
I think it's one of those cases.
All right.
So like with GitHub Launcher Week.
Yes. Well, that's a good one, because that one was also, this one bot could do them both, really.
Yeah. So I think it picks up things like followers and things like that.
So you see here now I get this one. They want the user numeric ID. And the trick is to try to start block them. You actually see the URL for which is who's going to be blocked, and then you can copy it from there. So it feels a little bit sketchy. I don't want to block the polar bears. So we'll remove that one, and we can. Yeah, the Facebook seems good as well. Copy link location. We'll just see if that works as well. Good. I don't think there's any qualifier warnings from that one. And Instagram will work as well. Why does sometimes copy link location? Sweet.
Yeah, that's a really neat one.
Yeah. And now I just realized, let's see what the Recoin, which is a gadget you can turn on, and it will sort of say other items have something like this. Oh, this one actually say named after, but I still think it's on the not really founded by. All right, so that one we can add. So it's not only organized, it's also founded by them. That's a very good one. So now the question is, did this source say they founded it, or just that they organize it? It's organized. Webcam. It doesn't say that there.
No.
So I'm not going to copy the source. So I'm going to add it manually as founded by, because this is unsourced for now. What were the name? Polar Bears International. There we have it. What else did we have? Facet off, commemorates, hashtag. Let's see if I just go to Twitter and do a search. See if there's some like a hashtag being used. No, not gonna go there. So I'm gonna go too many tabs.
It's trending on Twitter.
It is.
Polar bear. Polar bear appears to be popular.
Polar bears as such only.
Yeah. Oh, it appears to just be Polar Bear Day. I see there are a couple of major news outlets and the WWF and so on.
No, that's really good. Let's see what I get here. My search. I also see the International Polar Bear Day being used.
Oh,
But Polar Bear Day seems more. So I'll actually add both
yeah.
to the hashtag. Let's switch back to the right thing here. Now here's the question. Is it with do not include? That's very nice. So I'm going to add without that. Copy that. And go with the international before. All right.
Nice. Do you want to set the first one to preferred?
I don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that, right?
Perhaps the Polar Bears International have an opinion on that.
Right.
I don't really know. Yeah. So, and I had something else. Did I? I think I got most of the things there. Let's just quickly check the recoin again here if there was something described by source different from logo. No, I don't think we have any of this. There's something. Oh, this one that tricked me. Country. So this is not in a specific country, but it's worldwide. And
Right.
it's sort of implied by World Day, but as we saw on the World Day, it didn't have anything about international. So I think I want to add something, but I don't remember exactly how. And I usually go to, like, I think the Wikimedia Foundation has a fairly well modeled item for natural. We like to look at ourselves a lot. And I think there's something in here for, but I don't remember the name of it. Could be something like, oh, come on, load.
Big item.
Big item, yes. Operating area.
Right.
Yes, I could go for that.
But do we want to have that on an awareness state?
No, no. Okay. So operating area seems not really meant to be. Nicholas also says, I would put the second as preferred, seem more official.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point. Please go ahead and do that, Nicholas, if you feel like it. I'm gonna
and I might change it as one is actually used in practice.
Yeah, we're going into an editor here. No, so I'm actually going to take a look here at the operating area and see.
Right.
Because this feels like it's meant, yes, for an organization or industry.
Right.
And perhaps there's something similar mentioned here. See also applies to jurisdiction, facet of.
I think what you can do is that you can set country to like any value or a special value like that to indicate that country is not.
So not going with worldwide? Well, let's check the country
I'm not
property.
sure. I'm a little. I wonder
Let's
what
see.
options
Let's see
we have.
the constraints here, because there might be an exception for things that are not countries.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
Antarctica, no value. And then we have, here we might find something else. Not really.
No. Oh, exception to constraint.
International. All right. So I'll actually copy that.
I think that might be the type of the target item. So you need to target, you don't put international in the value, but something that's instance of international.
Was it?
I think so. Let's see. Value type constraint. Yes, so it is the type. So you can see, for example, that country is in this list, meaning that Sweden is an instance of country.
All right.
I would imagine that's how it's
So let's
supposed to
go
be
to
used.
international and see if we can find something that, what links here? Different from worldwide.
Oh, interesting.
This seems.
Actually, we got a Nobel Prize there in the list.
Yeah, and we have also a day here, World Vegetarian Day. Let's
Yeah,
see
I
how
wonder
this
how
one
they are.
looks. And if it has a constraint violation or not. Country international. No, I'm actually going to go with this.
Right. Yeah, and no it has.
Oh, it
There
has
it
the
is.
warning. It's just slow. All right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I'm not going to go with that one. All right. And then, so we shouldn't find events here, but we should find other types of items like worldwide or similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see if this one loads with a little bit few more things. I'm actually a little bit not that hopeful. I think this is something that could be very messy right now.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of. This was interesting. I haven't seen this before. We have like scenes. Are they all like scenes from there? No, here comes something else. Doesn't seem right. Let's try this and see how angry this becomes. If I say worldwide here. And see if I get any warnings. I did. And it says worldwide is not. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'll remove that for now. And I'll have to take. Oh, that was a cancel, not a remove. And I have to take a think about how I want to model that. But at least this day became a little bit more modeled. Oh, this image should also a little bit changed. And then we also made the organization that does this a little bit more findable. Or a few more external links. We added a few sources, and I'm pretty happy with that. Small but and manual improvement. But I think that will be it for today. And
Indeed.
next week we have something big coming up. because next week it's the Open Data Day, organized by Open Knowledge Foundation. And we're not, well, perhaps we will, but I don't think we will focus so much on the item of the day itself.
No.
But we're rather gonna try to make an introduction to data sets on Wikidata and how you add data sets, and also Wikidata as a data set.
Yeah, I think we will do a bit of queries to explore the data sets represented on Wikidata in general.
Yeah, and perhaps talk a little bit about what kind of data sets do we want to add to Wikidata, and perhaps even more important, which data sets do we want to add items for rather than including the entire data set, and metadata about it. That's too many data in the word. Metadata about the open data on Wikidata. There's so much, all the data.
Exactly, and how we can reference them in references and things like that, saying that this actually comes from this data set, which is represented by this item, and so on.
Yeah. So that's what's going to be next week. Same time, same place. And until then, have a nice week.
Bye.